In life, you need goals, and through practice and not giving up, you achieve those goals. That's what this channel is all about. Next Level Success is about reaching that next level of anything in your life and trying to better yourself in any kind of way possible. With this channel, I'm showing everyone my progression and the things I'm doing to better myself and help others financially, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Money is not the most important thing in life, although it does impact the most important things in life. Doing these 4 things for you and others with a touch of gratitude and appreciation will make you feel phenomenal. Living is giving. Don't forget, at the end of the day, you need to enjoy yourself and put time aside for family and friends. Remember, life is about enjoying it. Alright, so welcome to Next Level Success. This is my first time shooting. I got Sean here onto the podcast. I'm not really sure how good we are at this, but it's all through trial and error, and we're going to get better at it. So I wanted to talk about Sean, kind of explain what he's doing. I wanted to focus on mindset and focus on what it takes to really kind of get to places where you want to go in life. And through experience, I've been on a lower mindset lately. I think Sean has noticed that quite a bit, and it takes a drastic measure on and an impact on your life. You have to have the mindset is the key of all things. I think Sean could tell you that from his past. And Sean's extremely awkward, by the way, so don't mind him. This is our first podcast, like I was saying, but we will get better at shooting this as we go. And yeah, maybe if Sean wants to share a little bit on how he was in the past, and right now where he's at is he's shooting, streaming actually live games online, and he started with little viewers and knowing nothing, and now it's growing at an exponential growth, still small, but it's growing at a rapid rate.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what to say.
No, it's alright. This is what average Joes do, so it's not the best kind of quality, it's not the most accurate, maybe not the most entertaining, but that's all part of trial and error. And if you got something that you want to go for, don't hesitate. Don't let people laugh at you, and because everyone has to start somewhere, and no one's perfect. And when I started, not even a year ago, and I started talking about this, at first Sean wasn't really on track, on board with me, but I think he would agree that he's on board now. And
yeah, most definitely.
So it takes these little things and just in changing the way that you think, and that can drastically, like I said before, impact your life.
Well, everybody's first instinct is to turn down, like anything that's like different or like I don't know how to explain it. It'd be like, this is what I was worried about.
So yeah, no, I'm used to talking in front of the camera a little bit more than Sean is. Sean's used to talking in front of the camera when it comes to his streams, but not when it comes to conversations like these.
No, but then now I gotta think of everything like right off the top of my head, and I'm just like, I can't know the right words or like how to say it.
Yeah.
But what I say, like people are not accustomed to adjusting to new things, and at first I was like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Pretty much. Excuse my language. I was just fair warning. I'll be swearing a lot. It's who I am. But yeah, no. At first I was like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? But just being around him, listening to him, being around someone who's that positive, and then just had that good of a mindset, I started to realize maybe I should do the same and adjust the way I think about things, my perspective on life, and doing so made me realize like what I wanted to pursue, and as a goal, and that was my streaming and my Facebook streaming. And
for anyone that is not sure, by the way, his Facebook, if you want to go see him stream games, he streams all kinds of different games. He has a little bit more variety now, but find him at Mr. Walker 95. And how is that again? It's a MR _ Walker 95.
Walker _ 95. Yep.
Yeah, sorry, 2 underscores. I knew there was 1, 2 underscores. I'll have it right in my search. So yeah, I just
You guys will see also like something that um, you'll see like where I started, where I was kind of awkward about it at first, and like anyone who would have started out like that would probably have given up because it was like overwhelming or it was like really awkward. What I did was I just kept pushing and like kept forcing myself to keep doing it until I got better at it. It's not still a work in progress. It's not going to get good within like just a couple of days. It's going to take a very long time to finally get everything going and getting it into the groove of things and getting used to it and getting comfortable in front of the camera. And
To add to this, I also know if you go back on my YouTube channel, Next Level Success, you can see in my YouTube channel that starting out, everyone starts knowing nothing, but you can see me progress and get better. Now, that's what I'm trying to share with people. That's what I'm trying to help motivate people to sit there and focus on what they want. And then after that, just kind of start taking action. You got to take action. You got to have the mindset for it. I kind of wanted to revolve around the topic of mindset and how important it is to maintain that mindset and be grateful and gratitude. Be happy with what you have in life right now. Because if you can't be happy with what you have in life right now, you won't ever be happy because you're always going to be focused on what you don't have instead of what you have. So focus on that mindset, and by being happy, your emotions tend to reflect, people's emotions tend to reflect yours. So if you're happy, you can't feel two emotions at the same time. So you can't be mad and happy at the same time. If you're always happy, you'll notice that the atmosphere and the people around you will tend to start being more happy and more generous, and you'll start to affect the environment around you. And through doing this, it's all started with mindset. So be happy with what you got and take action, and then after that, focus on what you want in life and don't be afraid to mess up. I don't know if Sean wanted to add more to that, but
well, a good example of all this is back when, maybe about what now? When did you first start this? Like, start thinking about this?
Started not long after me and my girlfriend broke up. So it would have been around November. I just started thinking about this.
Yeah. So back then, anyone who knew me knew that I wasn't doing anything to like further myself. I always just was just the same thing over and over again. My work grind. I hated my job. I never thought like I never did anything to push myself into forward. I always just stayed behind. Thought negative. Always thought like, what's the point? Like I'm there's all this extra stuff I want. Like, can't get it, instead of just trying to be more positive and trying to do, okay, what can I do to change that, or what can I do to try and further myself. And obviously the only reason I thought about that is once John started, but where the good positive mindset thing, just being positive around other people comes in play, is that it helped me get out of my whole negative mindset and start thinking more positively on life. Like, I'm doing decent compared to what I could have been doing. And
I'd like to add too, we all go again, this is the first time, like, this was just going to be a test run, but after talking for, I don't know, 10 minutes, I think it might actually make it. We might actually like load this up. We'll see. So I just wanted to add that Sean was talking about, I messed up completely. Anyway, I messed up completely. But Sean was talking about kind of being positive and stuff like that. Kind of having people around you come into your environment really has an impact on. How can I say this? I guess I'm at a loss for words now. Sorry, Sean, just take it from here. Just take it from here. I had a thought in my mind, but I got so zoned in.
The whole topic of this was like the mindset and being positive about everything in life, like trying to be as positive as you can about no matter what situation you're in, and being positive is a big part of having a positive mindset. So being positive about all the situations in your life, instead of looking at all the negatives at something, like say something didn't go well in your day. There's plenty of other events that happen that day, and you should be looking at the more positive ones and try and keep thinking that way. Keep thinking, like, look at the positive, stop dwelling on the negatives, and you'll find yourself willing to, what would be the word? You find yourself in a better mood, which will make you want to be more productive with life and try and find like your purpose or whatever it is you want to do with your life, instead of sitting there negative and always reflect and not having the motivation to do anything because you're always thinking negatively about every situation and every day.
I also wanted to add to that. I remembered right after you started talking, and normally sometimes I do get off track. But what I was trying to say is we all have highs and lows. So even though we were at peaks, I have since then. What happens with me is I tend to get overwhelmed, and then after that I go through a cycle. When I get overwhelmed, I shut down. So right now you're kind of seeing me. The thing is with me is I go through cycles. So even if I get overwhelmed, I never quit. I pick up the pieces and I continue going. So this shooting right now is kind of a little bit off, but I'm just trying to show that it doesn't need to be perfect. And even if people judge me on this, that's all right. Picking up the pieces after getting overwhelmed, but I'll never quit. So through doing that, we all have highs and lows, and I guess what I wanted to say is that even in the future to come, we might both have lows, but through mindset, you can come out on top. Don't let it defeat you. Don't let it corrupt you. Don't let it destroy you. And if you want to really have one thing that I tend to notice that really helps me is going to the gym. I think going to the gym, maybe this could
promotes a more positive, just going there and doing that. It's just like, I don't know, it makes you feel better about yourself. Like you're taking care of yourself. You're being active. You're not just sitting in the house doing nothing and not doing anything with your time. And in the process of doing that, it starts to get you a little bit hyped up and willing to want to do stuff and motivate you to want to go and do something.
Yeah, because it all comes down to confidence. Like that's pretty much I think what we were talking about a little earlier. So like what happens is confidence comes from the things that you tell yourself you're gonna do, and actually doing them. And through doing them, by check marking them, your confidence grows. As your confidence grows, you notice that I guess you could say your behavior or your not so much personality. I don't know if you know what I mean by this, Sean, but like your behavior will tend to start to change and stuff like that. Your confidence, as your confidence comes up, depending on how you take it, don't let your ego grow off of your confidence. Two different things, ego and confidence. You don't want your ego getting so big that you just kind of become this very arrogant person where no one likes. You just want to be confident and then take that confidence and work on your goals. But don't let it
come to a point where you're an asshole. More or less.
Basically.
I'm going to swear, like I said. So that's just the way I'm going to say it. Just don't be an asshole about it. Like, just use that, like, as a, I don't know, a positive reinforcement. Would that be the right word?
What's that?
Positive, like, reinforcement? I don't know how to explain. I don't know what the word is. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but use it in a positive manner without, like, well, being an asshole is pretty much the only way I can think of it, saying it.
Yeah. No, he's exactly right. Like, I don't know. You just don't want to. You want to build your confidence, but you don't want to get to the point where you're just become a completely different person. You got to make it a positive growth. You got to be willing to change work on your flaws, and through going to the gym and building that confidence, it gives you the momentum and the drive to do so. But whenever you have no one's perfect. Definitely not me. I know I'm not. I don't know if Sean would agree. I'm not going to speak on his behalf. But I know I'm not perfect. And I will never, ever be a finished project. Never. I'm always trying to work on my flaws. And sometimes I have to work, even if I check mark a flaw, it eventually comes back. That's what I was saying earlier. We all have highs and lows. Some things aren't off completely checked off your off of your list for your entire life. Sometimes it will return. And for me, I didn't maintain my mindset. I didn't have a strong enough mindset to maintain that positive attitude. So, and I stopped going to the gym. Again, I got overwhelmed. And now I just need to focus on not getting overwhelmed. And one thing at a time. And if I do this, I'm going to try to help you guys out. But just know that we're all human. And I know Sean is kind of going a little bit through what was a low a couple weeks ago, but he's all right now. Like he's coming back out of it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention too, because we're always mentioning gym, but there's obviously other ways to get your positive. Because gym's not for everyone. There's obviously gonna be people out there who's just gonna go to the gym and fall out immediately because they're just not for them. And in that case, all you really need to do is find something that helps get you what motivates you specifically as a person, whether it's music or simply drawing or going out and going for walks. I don't know, anything along those lines. Just I find that
Getting your body moving, really.
getting your body moving and just
Building that confidence. Basically, if you tell yourself you're going to do something, do it. Take action and do it. And then
and start with small goals. That's the big thing there. Don't overwhelm yourself and put yourself with a big goal immediately. Start with small little goals. Something as simple as, I don't know, you want to go do something like as simple as go out for a day or something. Start with that. Just simply doing that. You made yourself do that. That's going to be the first step. Then start working your way up to bigger and bigger goals as you go. Don't lose sight of a big goal. You can always set yourself a big goal, but don't focus on that big goal.
one thing you'll notice too, sorry to cut you off. Were you done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. One thing you'll notice too is like when I first started going to see Sean, saying like I was kind of thinking about this stuff, and Sean wasn't taking me very serious. But once he started realizing I was serious about this, I thought to myself these little things I was doing just every night, and it was just a little bit of research. But after 6 months, or not even 6 months, it was like 4 months, I felt like I wasn't really getting anywhere. Then I started talking to some buddies on what I had been working on and what I had learned in the past 4 months, knowing nothing when I started. Keep in mind, so I'm going to mention a few names here. Grant Cardone, Ed Milet, they've all said, Ed Milet, Dean Graziosi, they've all said when they first started they knew absolutely nothing. And all the people that they know that became millionaires and became billionaires knew absolutely nothing when they first started. Grant Cardone goes on to say that there was this one app there that was called Horoscope at one point in time. And at the time, he was talking in front of 2 or 3 people. When he first started, this would technically be me and Sean's first podcast, like the first trial run. So this is far from perfect. And the first time he went to go talking on that app, Horoscope, I'm not even familiar with it. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. There was 2 people, and he was like, didn't know what to say. That same guy just closed a $140 million deal. He talks in front of what they call them seminars of 10,000 people. 10,000 people up on stage. So you want to tell me that everyone doesn't start somewheres? Well, that's not true. Everyone has to start knowing nothing. And me, just in 3 months, thinking I knew nothing, started talking to my friends about the stuff that I had learned and where I was going and all this. I had a fair amount of knowledge, and I would just blow them completely away. And it was all just by doing little tiny things that are micro changes. And it makes for a drastic change in the end.
No. I guess we would tie in mindset, I guess, now. Like, how would you tie that in?
Well, so when I first started kind of going on this path, I was watching a lot of Dean Graziosi. I started with Dean Graziosi and Ed Milet when I was first watching them. And then eventually Tony Robbins came in, and Warren Buffett, and just a whole bunch. Tom, I can't pronounce his last name. Bayou. Sorry, I haven't watched too much of him, but he does mean good. So anyways, watching these guys, Dean Graziosi was telling himself about gratitude and always being generous and stuff like that. And then anyways, I thought it was kind of, well, since we already swore, I thought it was bullshit. But I said, you know what, I'm going to start doing that. So he was sitting there saying like picking up a blanket and being thankful for your blanket every single day. So for 3 weeks, I woke up, and I would sit there and say, this is the best blanket ever. And you know what? I kept on telling myself that every day I woke up. And then after that, I got 3 weeks in, and I said, you know what? This is stupid. I'm going to friggin' actually tell myself things that I actually appreciate. So I started actually telling myself things I appreciate. Now it comes natural. I'm actually happy with what I have. I could care less as long as I have a roof over my head and food and friends. I don't care where I go in life. Even though I get down, the only reason I get down is because I'm hard on myself. I don't go. That's where confidence comes back in. You gotta go. If you tell yourself you're gonna do something, do it. But that's why I kind of got down, because I was discouraged with myself, disappointed. but I was happy with where I am in life. And Dean Graziosi says that's the start of everything. Tony Robbins often went and said that if you want something in life, another one was Caleb Milix, which is an impressive 16-year-old that went on Omar Element. Yeah, that's his name. Sorry for that. You guys have to see that. But he went on his podcast, and then they go and they talk about if you don't have something in life that you really want, first you got to give it, and then you shall receive. And Tony Robbins goes and says that too a lot of the time. He says, how I know it's been a little while. I'm just finally getting back in the rhythm. I think, Sean, you had heard me say this before. And I'm trying to remember because I have a lot of things I often say off camera.
Give without
expecting
expectation of return or something like that, you say?
Yeah.
How you said it, there was a specific way you said it, but that's the basic idea behind it.
Yeah. Like, just gratitude and always giving. Give and you shall receive.
And all this, it comes back down to the mindset. It all is to do with the mindset of things. Like, just simply, like, like enjoying what you already have. Like, being appreciative for the roof over your head, having a job, if you have a vehicle, just anything like that. Just being appreciative of what you already have will help a great deal.
Yeah. It really doesn't, in life, it's, we're going to go real in depth here. I didn't actually plan on it being this long, but I don't mind it if this podcast is going to be this long. I was going to go on to say that when after changing my mindset and being grateful with what I had, I then came to find that happiness doesn't come from owning material things. And that's when I started talking to Sean, and Sean actually kind of agreed on the whole like material things. Eventually we came to find that material things actually bring more stress than anything else. You're so worried about doing the payments, doing the insurance, putting gas in it, maintaining the parts. It doesn't even end there because often you have to have like wear and tear, storing it. And if you were to take that same money, avoid all that stress, and just go do something for $40 that you never done before, you'd find that you'd be more happy in having the memory of doing that than you would have by just owning the material things that people are so blindly, not to disrespect people, but that are just always competing with their neighbor. They're always so focused on material things that they don't even notice that it's the root of their stress, and it's the root of what's bringing them down. And I think, Sean, now that we've kind of somewhat got over material things, it's a challenge. Like I said, we always come
within human nature that we all want the shiny new toy or whatever, for lack of better words.
Yep, and it's all right with having those toys too. It's just
don't make it be a source of your stress.
That's
the big thing.
Yes, basically, yeah. That's where I was pretty much going with this, and like that again. That comes down to mindset. Like you have to really tell yourself this, and then believe it, and then I've come to
smaller things, and then the bigger things will come.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because at first I thought it was again bullshit, but like this is that's what I was telling myself, and then after that I started realizing I kind of started really kind of pointing out facts of owning material things and the stresses it can bring, and then I found that's why people think it's the root of all evils, because of greed. People just want what they can't have, and then it brings stress, and then after that it causes envy, and it causes, how can you say, jealousy, and it causes all these
negative emotions, basically.
Yeah,
like it's just a really negative. Can't think of the word I want to say right now. Could keep going.
It's just all bad. I guess we'll kind of end it there. I hope you kind of liked it. Again, if you want to know more, come check it out at Next Level Success. I want to end it now, and we're going to kind of collect our thoughts. And this was the first trial run of a podcast. And I hope you guys like it. And if you guys keep on watching, I'll guarantee you it'll get better, because I got lots more people going to be coming on the show. And Sean's going to get a lot better at this there. I'm not Sean is actually doing good by the end of it. I got off track. He was getting used to it. So this is the first.
Get into the groove of things, getting comfortable with the whole thing.
Yeah.
Again, this is what like starting from somewhere is like you're not going to be good at this kind of whatever it is you're going to do. You're not going to be good at right off the bat. But simply put yourself into the situation and keep working at it. You'll get better at it.
Oh, and just in saying that too, if you guys want to see an example, I don't know if I'll ever turn into something or if I'll ever actually amount to anything like my goals are, but I will always keep these uploaded. And that way, just through showing an example, showing an example that no one's ever done before, that everyone starts from knowing nothing. And you guys will see that firsthand because I'll keep my videos updated right from the very beginning. So, thanks for watching Next Level Success, and I'll see you guys next time.